Hi, I'm Cliff Perkins, lead singer of Soul Generation, and you're watching Soul One TV.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Soul One After Dark show. I have a brother on here that all I'm going to do is name two songs. If I Had $1 Million and Body and Soul. Now, if you don't know who that is, something wrong with you. On tonight's show, I have Mr. Cliff Perkins. What's up, Cliff?
What's up, Greg? How you doing, man?
Oh, man, same old thing, man. Trying to survive, you know.
I know it. We're all in the same boat, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it. I know you've done plenty of these interviews and everything, so I'm not going to really go into deep down into everything. We're just going to get right to it.
Oh.
Now, the first thing I want to do, I want to run a video of this song right here.
You just got to understand. You're no longer dating a boy. You got a man on your hands. Don't run away there until you're right here. Think you want enough to show me that you care. 'Cause I want you body and soul. That's the way it's got to be. Hey, you sing. Body and soul. Oh, baby, set aside your pride. 'Cause I'm ready to say I do. Take you for my ride. Take you for my ride. Body and soul. I'm quite aware of what I'm asking of you. And I don't think it's a crime asking you to be mine. I really love you. And love is beautiful. Together, girl, let's fall. Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that was Body and Soul.
Yes, indeed.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you heard that song on the radio for the first time, how did you feel?
I wanted to jump up and down. I believe I was in a store when I first heard that. You know, in a record shop there on Jackson Avenue at Larry Lewis's record shop. I think it was WWRL that first played the song here in New York.
Okay.
And when it came on, I told the guy on the record, I said, Larry, that's me. And he didn't believe me. He said, oh, make it at you.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, that's my record, man. And, you know, it was exciting, man. You know, it's still exciting when I hear. Listen, I was in the ShopRite, and I'm walking down aisle 22 or whatever it was, and I was getting the groceries, and the song came on. So when it came on in the store, I'm looking around to see if I know anybody. Say, hey, you hear my song? Hear my song?
I just
wanted to tell somebody, you know, but I said, they ain't going to believe me anyway, so. I just kept going on in dial 23 and got them grits and kept on moving.
Exactly. Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's for sure.
Now, who were the original members of the group?
The original members were the late Earl Davenport, Herman Hammond, Jeff Burgess, and myself.
The first guy you said he passed away.
Yeah, Earl died, yeah.
Okay. And the other brother, what is he doing now?
They're not doing anything musically that I know of. I haven't talked to them in a while. So I don't know exactly what they're doing. You know, I don't live in Jersey City no more, so I'm not in the mix, so to speak, there. So I'm
okay.
You know, I'm doing my thing here with the Soul Generation we have here. So I've moved on.
There you go. Hey, I hear you, man. I hear you. The members you have today,
Yes. Well, I have Donald Taylor, who does the
Okay.
second tenor and lead, and I have my wife, Miss Vita LaRue Perkins, who
Yes.
does the
Oh, yeah.
dynamic leads, and great singer and a great wife and all those kind of good things, you know.
I heard you took her from BT Express. Is that true?
Yeah, she was doing stuff with BT Express, and I said, no, that ain't gonna work.
Got to
Let's
go.
go.
Got to go.
I had the muscle, so I said, let me flex it.
I hear you, man. I hear you. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Mr.
Oh.
Cliff Perkins on Soul One After Dark.
I've lost more friends to suicide since I've been out than I lost in combat. Call your congressional representatives and demand that they vote yes on the Medicinal Hemp Act.
We're American veterans,
and we approve this message.
Hi, I'm Gerald Alston of the Manhattans, and you're watching Soul One TV.
Body and soul. Oh, baby, set aside your pride. 'Cause I'm ready to say I do. Take you for my ride. Take you for my ride. Body and soul.
All right, we are back with Soul One After Dark with my man Cliff Perkins.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You have managed to keep your group together and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what is the key to keeping your group together?
Paying them.
That was quick. That was quick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've always been business orientated, and I just believe that when someone comes into my organization like we have, that they're treated fairly, they're paid on time. There's no waiting. There's not one artist that has worked with me or band has worked with me had to wait for their money. I make sure that happens the day of the gig, not 2 days later or 3 days later. It happens that night. In a lot of cases before we even hit the stage. So I've had that reputation over the years, even as a promoter. You know, I promoted a lot of shows in Jersey City at the college, and the artists came, they got their deposit. As soon as they walked in the door, they had their money. So, you know, I think that's a key to keeping people around you and just making proper decisions. You know, I'll give you a small example. Guy called me about booking Soul Generation. So he asked me what I needed. I told him, I said, you know, we need a dressing room and the basic stuff, you know, because I have females in the group. At that time, my daughter was in the group and there was another young lady. So we get to the location and there's no dressing rooms. He tells me that they can dress in the hallway. He'll block off the hallway. I said, no. I got everybody together. We went back out and got in the car and came on home. You know, I'm not going to put my group in bad situations. If I can't get the money that night, then we're not going to perform. It's just simple as that.
You know, one thing that I admire about you and I respect about you, there's been times that I have called you up about different situations. And the one thing you do, you will tell me whether you're in or you're out, and you'll let me know why. You have been a straight up person with me from day one, and I really appreciate that.
I think you deserve that. You know, when you call me, you're calling me for a reason. Other than if we're just going to chit chat is one thing, but if you call me business wise, let's handle business. And if I can't make the gig, I'll let you know. I'm not going to hold you on. I'm not going to play the game, and we're not going to go back and forth about $20. You know what I'm saying? I'll say this is what I need to get. If you got it, cool. If you ain't got it, you know. So
you're right. Moving on. Let me move to this next song. One of my favorites right here.
Thank you. But only if I could share them both with you. You know I would. If your love was that girl, I'd buy monopoly. I would declare that if I had $1 million, I'd buy your love. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
You was hollering on that one there. You were doing your thing on that one, man.
I was singing for the money, Greg. Singing for the money.
I hear you. Listen, again, an honest guy, an honest cat, man. You're an honest cat. Let me ask you something. Now, that came after Body and Soul.
That's correct. Body and Soul came out in 1972, and we waited a whole year, and I can explain why before we released $1 million.
When that came out, did you think that it would have the same effect as Body and Soul?
We were in such turmoil after Body and Soul because the label had changed hands, and we were going back and forth trying to find a different producer because the guy who wrote that song didn't want to be bothered with the people who owned the label at that particular time. So we were looking for a guy to produce the song, and we found one, by the name of Stan Benson. Stan Benson is the one who wrote Ooh Child for the 5 Stair Steps.
Yeah.
And when we hooked up with Stan, now $1 million, we had $1 million in the can. Jeff Burgess, who was one of the lead singers in Soul Generation, had wrote $1 million. So we took that to Stan, and he liked it. So he put all the music to it, and we added our little touches to it, and $1 million came out. I knew that it was a R&B song. I mean, it fit right in with BLS and all those stations. So I knew we would be all right with that. That song took off, and I mean, it was like a national anthem around the country, and still is.
And that shows you what real music is all about. Good music, because through all the turmoil, the song still came out, and it still shot up. It still shot up through the charts. Yeah. Cliff, I just want, like I said, I hold you very high on my totem pole of folks that's classic soul brothers and sisters that's doing it, because you always seem to reinvent yourself. You keep the wheel turning. You're one of those brothers that don't sit back and wait for the phone to ring and hope that somebody call you to do something. You always doing something to kind of like bring attention to yourself to keep the Soul Generation name going. Why is it important? Just so these other groups that's sitting back on their behinds waiting for people to call, why is it important to keep reinventing yourself?
The reason why I'm sitting there talking to you, Greg, a market for people so I can be heard in different venues and different avenues so we can keep the group alive. I just told my wife the other day, I said, we got to keep things moving. We can't wait for things to happen. And I never was a waiter. I was always an initiator. I always put things out there. And if I had to change the way the group looked, so to speak, which I did, I mean, the group started out with four gentlemen. And now you see I have a female, which is my wife in the group. And I just love the sound of her voice in the group. And I always said if I ever had the opportunity, if these guys ever left or whatever happened, I was going to replace with a female. That was always my plan.
Little Birdie told me that you used to have a restaurant out in New Jersey.
Yeah, we had a little thing going on in Jersey City, and I had a little piece of the pie, so to speak. My son was the runner who had the restaurant with another partner, and I always got my hands in stuff. So we had a little something going on. I'm gone now, with COVID. Once again, got to reinvent yourself and keep moving.
That's right. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be right back with Cliff Perkins from Soul Generation on Soul One After Dark.
Depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, they have more power over us than they should, but they don't have to. Be the change. Start the conversation today. Speak on it and silence the shame.
Hey guys, I'm Shelley.
Hi, it's Wendy.
Hey everyone, I'm Kathy.
We're the Honeycomb. and you're watching Soul One TV.
I think your word should be your bond. If you're going to do something, do it. If you can't do it, just say, hey, I can't do it. You know, because if you're asking me to do something, that means you can't do it either.
I just want to run that little piece because what you're saying is so real and so true. And the funny thing is, I can see you off camera when that came on, and you were sitting there, and you saw it come on. You was like, okay.
I just got that out of my mouth, and then it came right back on. You know.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Now, it was an all-male group.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not only do you have females in the group, you have your wife in the group.
Yes.
So now, can you tell me, I don't know if you could tell me, is she standing there watching you?
Yeah, she's here. I can tell you.
Tell me, what's the difference between when it was just the guys going on the road, now it's guys and women with your wife going on the road? What's the difference now?
Well, the difference is from the attire standpoint. You know, one guy would make decision and everybody would wear what we're going to wear. Now we have to be a little delicate with that. We have to go to her and find out what she liked, and I have no problem with that. What she liked, what's going to work for her. And she makes a lot of decisions on what works for everybody.
That's cool. But now the question is, I'm asking, how many women did she have to slap down?
Well, you don't have to slap down any because I know my place.
Good answer. Good answer. Oh, you good. You good. You good. You good. You good. Miss LaRue, you got it. Woo-hoo. You got it. You got it. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, man. Now, let me move on to the new music, the new album.
Okay.
Now, I was listening to a couple of the cuts, and there's a few in particular that really caught my ear. And let me play this one right here. Ooh, baby.
When I'm in your arms, fill me with your charms. It's a full alarm. Girl, the fire is burning for you. Making love with you is a thing that I plan to do my whole life through. 'Cause ooh, baby, you make me feel so good when I'm in your arms. Ooh, baby, you make me feel so good.
Ooh,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, that is nice. I like that.
Let's got stuff on the back, you know.
Both
Got stuff
shoulders.
on the back. Damn Skippy. Now listen, let me ask you, who wrote that?
A guy named Gary Culpepper and myself put that stuff together.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Gary initiated it. He's a great writer. He did a lot of stuff with us with a project we did with Kool and the Gang and the Manhattan and Brown. And he's a great writer.
How long did it take to complete the whole album?
I guess about 3 months.
Do you play any instruments? Did you play anything on the album, or
One of the songs I played the keyboard on. I'm a hunting pecker. You know, I can't put on no tuxedo and flip the tails up and sit down and play. But I was hunting and pecking, and that's what I did.
Well, go ahead on, Cliff. You go ahead on with your bad stuff. That's all right. That's all right. Well, listen. Let me play this next cut.
You keep on saying what your friends keep telling you to. I'm telling you, baby, if they knew they'd have a man like you.
Yeah, that was tight. That's another one. That's another one. Who wrote that one?
Gary Culpepper wrote that one also, and him and I produced that.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah, it's some good stuff.
That's really cool. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer to do live dates or track dates?
Two reasons why I like track dates. Track dates don't make no mistakes.
You're right. Okay. You're right about that.
And that's not knocking any musicians or nothing, because we have a lot of great guys, but sometimes timing might be off, or someone didn't learn all the parts the proper way. And sometimes they play the way they feel as opposed to the way I want. You know what I'm saying? And once it's done, you can't take it back. I know when I hit the stage with a track, I know what's going to be played verbatim. So all I have to do is get myself in gear to keep up with the track. I prefer tracks, to be honest with you.
Okay, listen, you the first one that said you prefer tracks, and I get it. I definitely get it.
I hope none of the band guys are going to be mad at me.
Listen, you know how sensitive they get. You know how sensitive them band members get, boy. None of your musicians are going to speak to you after this. I'm letting you know now.
Man, I know. But I prefer live, though. I really do. I prefer live. You know, I like that sound. You don't get feel from the machine. There's no feel there. It's just correct.
Exactly. Yeah. That's good. You're cleaning it up now. You gotta clean it up.
I'm working hard at it here.
All right. Well, listen. We're going to take another commercial break, and we'll be right back with Cliff Perkins, the man that want to do track dates, but love his band members.
Hi, this is Allison Williams, and you're watching Soul One TV.
Hi, I'm Cliff Perkins, lead singer of Soul Generation, and you're hanging out with Greg Hill from Soul One After Dark.
Okay, one more time. One more after dark. Cliff, you get real sincere with it. Okay, we're back with Cliff Perkins on Soul One After Dark.
Yeah.
Now, Cliff, let me ask you another question.
Uh-oh.
What would you say needs to be done to keep classic soul music alive?
That's a hard one, because it's kind of not in our hands. I mean, it's in the hands of the radio owners, because the only reason why, and I understand their mentality, because if the radio owners would come around the country and see the concerts all sold out, they will continue to play our music, our new music. They're playing the old music. A lot of stuff. I was sitting in the house yesterday, and Felix played it right on his station, Body and Soul, and I hadn't called him and asked him to play it. He played it on his own. But I think that's rough for us in terms of new music, because, Soul Generation has had new music. Gerald Alston has new music right now from the Manhattans. A lot of groups have had new music, and you don't even know it. Why? Because they didn't get no airplay. I think what we have to do is continue to do what we do, work the avenue they gave us, record this stuff, get it in streaming, and get it and continue to do our shows, because we can work forever.
Sure can.
I don't need another single to work. I can work off what I've done. So that's the good part about all of us. We can work on our past.
Right. Looking back, we all say, "Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that." Can you tell me one thing that you should have done more of, and then tell me something that you should have done less of?
Something I should have done more of is be a little bit more stern with the guys that were with me. we made some decisions that weren't really right, and we had the power to make the right decision. And because we didn't make the right decision, we were on an independent label. We cut Body and Soul. We put Body and Soul out, and it started making noise. But in the interim, we took that song around to all the companies, Columbia, and all of them that were out there. No independents; they were all major companies. And they all turned it down. They said it wasn't a proper song or whatever reason they gave us. So that's how we started Ebony Sounds Records. So once we started the label and music started happening, all these companies started calling back. Now we were full of, if I may say, we were full of piss and vinegar. We was mad. They didn't sign us in the beginning. So we said later for them. That was a mistake. That was really a mistake. We should have went ahead and made the deal with them, and Soul Generation could have been as big as the Beatles, in terms of that arm that they have to get songs out there. We didn't have that as an independent. We was hook or crook, if we got $20, we can do this. If we got $40, we can do that. There was no budget, and with independent, we were just doing stuff. Matter of fact, I became part owner of the record company that I was signed with. And I used to take the records down to the one stops in Baltimore and Washington, North Carolina, South Carolina, and drop off Body and Soul and come back and get prepared to do the show and go back down to do the show with another hat on, That's what we did. Now, something that I did too much of, I was a forceful kind of guy. I like
Go ahead, keep going. Let me hear this one. I gotta hear this one. Wait, but go ahead.
I kind of like stuff to be right at all times. I don't like excuses. I don't like, if we say we're wearing red, well, the red got to be right. It's got to be clean. It got to be, you can't come to the show ironing your red. It should have been in the cleaners. If practice is at 10 o'clock, I expect you to be there by 10 o'clock. Ain't no 15 minutes grace time. 10 o'clock, so we can get in here and do what we got to do, and you're going about your business. I didn't allow any, drinking and smoking and all that kind of stuff. That wasn't allowed in my camp, because if you did, I would step to you. I definitely would step to you, and we'd make a decision on what we're going to do here. If you feel that you have to do this, and you can do it somewhere else. And I was the guy who went and got these guys to come in, because I didn't think I was such a great singer at the time. And I thought they were better singers than me. So that's why I put them around me, But I had the talent to just kind of keep things together, the business end, and I could dance. So all the choreography, I did all the choreography.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And, so that's how I earned my little thing. And those are the two things that,
Listen. Cliff, I'm gonna give you a middle name. I'm gonna start calling you Cliff H. Perkins, and the H stands for hustler. Stands for hustler, because that's what I'm talking about, man. Listen, that's the same exact thing I do with my guys. We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't do none of that nonsense, man. It's hard enough out here without that stuff.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, and you got time to get it. You can do it on your own. I mean, it's not like we're on stage for hours. We're doing 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So you can't tell me you can't control yourself for 15 minutes.
Some people can't, right?
I know.
I ain't gonna say no names, but hey, it is what it is. Let me move on. I'm gonna move on to this next song right here. This is one more I have in here. This is called "In Your Way." I like this one right here. And just you can come back and tell me the story behind this one.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
It was a quiet summer night. The moon was full, the stars were bright. Kids lay fast asleep in their beds. The phone rang once or twice. You picked it up and sighed. I can't talk loud, my darling, 'cause my husband is nearby. But the whole time you were talking, I was listening on the other end. Wasn't hard to figure out you're in love with another man. as the tears stream down my sad and sorrowful face, I began to feel alone in this vast and puzzling way. I knew I had to find my darling another place to stay, because if I stayed here any longer, I'd be in your way.
All right now.
Yeah.
In your way.
In your way.
Who wrote that one?
I wrote and produced it, arranged it, the whole 9 yards.
Do you have a personal story behind that or something, Cliff? Because you got deep on that one. I listened to it. You got deep on it.
Yeah, well, it was a true story. What happened? Happened to me.
All right.
So it's true. So I just woke up one night and started writing it. It took me about 5 minutes to write it.
Mm.
And the lyric content anyway. And it was true. It happened. And I said, well, I got to make a song out of this one.
I hear you.
I wrote a little song about it.
Here you go.
There you go.
Yeah. What one thing annoys you?
Practice and not performing what we practice. Meaning, the notes, the harmony structure, then you get on stage and do a different note or do something different that two other people are not accustomed to, and we're looking at each other saying, what was that? What was that? And how come that's happening? And we just spent 4 days on this harmony,
Yeah.
Why can't we get it the way we spent the 4 days on? So, and it gets talked about too. You can believe that. It gets addressed. I don't mind being on stage, as you know, that things happen on stage where you might have to make an adjustment because of whatever. Maybe the band might go into something different or people might, anything. And you have to make the adjustment. That's fine. Make the adjustment, but come on back.
Yeah.
You done made an adjustment and created a whole new segment.
Yeah. Oh, my
come
goodness,
on back.
man. That's it.
So, yeah, that ticks me off. That really ticks me off.
Okay. And what makes you happy?
To see all of it work right. To go into the studio and practice the routines and the song and the movement. Everybody's doing all the same thing at the same time when they're supposed to be doing it. And put that on stage in front of the people. And it's right. Because you can look down the line and say, oh, yeah, it's cool. And you can feel it happening. You don't have to really see it. You can feel it. But when it's right, people will let you know it's right. Yeah. And the people will let you know when it's not right. Okay?
Lord knows they will. Now, as I said before, Cliff, I admire and I respect you because you always shoot straight from the hip. On social media, we watch social media and all kinds of things go on. This one don't like this one. This one got a problem with this. Cliff, you have always had a solid opinion, your own personal opinion about everything, but you still manage to maintain a neutral stance from both sides. Mm-hmm. You can agree to disagree on something and keep doing business.
I have no nickels in that dime. Okay, people go through changes. They're going through their changes. I have nothing to do with that. If you come to me with your problem with somebody else, I'm going to tell you that you need to work it out with that person, or you need to go to a counselor. I am not a counselor. I'm a first tenor. I'm a lead singer. I'm a choreographer, and I have a group called Soul Generation. If you got a date for me to work, I'd love to take it. But I am not a counselor. And I really don't even want to hear when I see it on Facebook. I said, well, what are they talking about that? The most comments I've made on Facebook was political, but personal stuff and talking about this one and talking about that one, that's your opinion. And everybody got an opinion, and just like they have, well, excuse my vernacular, a butt. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So please, the stuff you talking about with this other guy, you've done it. You're part of it. You're part of the hypocrisy, and you've done it. You lived it. Now you're talking about somebody else. Shut up.
That's right. That's right. After this last 4 years, and this last 1 year in particular, if people still want to do the same nonsense and argue about the same foolishness, I just don't have no time for it anymore. It's time to move on for everybody because, you know, it's just not making sense anymore.
I've had issues with my guys, you know, they've moved on and, you know, they moved on. So it's fine. You know, if he's doing something I don't like, I'm gonna step to him and straighten it out one way or another, and then it'll be done.
I hear you.
And move on. You know, all this carrying stuff on and bringing other people in it. And what do you think? And I don't think nothing. I don't think nothing.
You just ready to work. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Give me one of them pregnants.
You digging yourself in the hole there, man.
I know. You know the thing is, I ain't worried about it because I can fight.
I hear you, man. But listen, on that note, what's next? What's up next for Cliff Perkins and Soul Generation?
We're gonna wait for this thing to open up a little bit. You know, I got dates on the books, you know, that I've been holding, you know, with deposits that we couldn't get to. You know, I'm not gonna jeopardize myself for a few dollars to hit the stage because it's not about the money for us. I mean, you know, we're pretty all right, you know, but it's got to be right. You know, it's got to be everybody got to get their shot and do what they got to do so we can stay healthy. And I mean, because I can't sing on the stage with no mask on. I'm too old now. I can't put no mask on. I need all the air I can get.
If someone wants to contact you for bookings or more information, where would they go?
They can call me 201-920-1021, and I'll pick it right up. And we'll talk for 5 minutes or we'll talk for 20 minutes based on what they say.
That's good. I hear you, man. But listen, so you got any shout outs or anything?
Yeah, just my family and the fans and they stayed behind us after all these years. I mean, we started in 1972, so that's a long time to be with somebody. So I appreciate it. You know, I haven't fed nobody, so they don't owe me anything, and I don't owe them nothing. But thanks. You know, they've been behind us all these years, and they still are. I mean, I look at Facebook, and they know they talk about us, and so it's great. It's all positive stuff. You know, everything around Soul Generation has been positive, and I'm going to keep it that way. It's been a great time. It's been a great time, and hopefully looking forward to some more great times.
That's right. More to come. More to come. Listen, I just want to thank you, man, for coming on here because you have made my day. You're a trip. Listen, man, the platform is here anytime.
Thanks for having me, man.
Music, anything, you know, you are welcome here anytime, man. I appreciate you, man. And now one more question.
Sure.
Did you or are you taking your shot?
I got both of them.
All right now. All right.
I got both shots. And when they come with single shot, I told them put in another arm.
All right, man. Listen. I can't mess with you after this.
Thank you. But